Hello to you and welcome. Thank you for joining us for our Bible study today. We are going to talk about the evil grandmother of the Bible and the boy who became king. Interesting stuff today. We are in 2 Kings chapter 11. We're going to talk about the reign of Athaliah, who is a lady, and Josiah, who was a young boy in this chapter. Their reigns probably fit somewhere within the window of 890 to 835 BC. Josiah ends up reigning over the nation of Judah, the southern kingdom, for 40 years. Who are our main characters going to be in this chapter? First, we have Athaliah. Athaliah was the mother of Ahaziah, who was the last king of Judah. Athaliah was also the daughter of Ahab. And if you know anything about Ahab, he wasn't a very good guy. Well, Athaliah wasn't either. We're going to talk about Joash, who is also known as Jehoash. Jehoash. He survived the murder of his family and eventually became the king of Judah. There was also a Joash or Jehoash who was the king of Israel. So you got to make sure you're keeping those straight. Jehoiada is the next guy we're going to talk about. He was a priest who played a key role in bringing Athaliah's reign of terror to an end. And then Jehosheba. This is also another woman. Jehosheba was a woman who saved Joash from being murdered by Athaliah. As far as our geographic locations in our map, this one's pretty simple today. The capital of Judah was Jerusalem, and that's where these events happened. I have this chapter broken down into two sections. The first one is just verses 1 through 3. Athaliah makes herself queen. Now, as I mentioned, Ahaziah, who was the last king of Judah, he was Athaliah's son, but he was killed by Jehu. Remember that? So, after she learned about her son's death, she killed all the rest of the royal family and then declared herself the ruler of Judah. So she basically eliminates all the other competition and then puts the crown on her head. But unknown to Athaliah, one of her grandchildren, her grandson named Joash, actually escaped. He was hidden from Athaliah in the temple for 6 years, and he escaped, or rather his escape was orchestrated by a woman named Jehosheba, who was Ahaziah's sister. Now in section number 2, we're going to skip forward about 6 years, verses 4 through 21. Joash is made king, and Athaliah is dethroned. So in the 7th year of Athaliah's reign, a priest named Jehoiada began carrying out a plan that would get Athaliah off the throne and out of the picture. He gathered the captains and the guards, and he revealed to them the existence of Joash, who had now been hidden for 6 years. Joash was the true heir to the throne, so the plan was to present him to the people. All the guards and the captains agreed to appoint him king in front of the people, and the guards agreed to protect him during the coronation. On the appointed day, Joash was brought before the people, and all of the people accepted him as their new leader. Evidently, Athaliah wasn't too popular, and people were welcome to the idea of a replacement. Now, this time, Joash is only 7 years old. When Athaliah heard what was going on, she went into the temple and she started crying, "Treason, treason." I always imagine her yelling this like an old hag. "Treason!" Rah! She's like, I can't help but think of, is it the evil stepmother on Snow White? I don't know if she's her stepmother. The evil queen. That's who I always think of when I think of Athaliah. Jehoiada ordered Athaliah to be arrested. She was taken outside the temple and executed. So that is how the evil grandmother meets her fate. Jehoiada made a covenant with the king, with the people, and with the Lord that the people of Judah were going to follow the Lord and respect his commands. The people then went to the house of Baal, or to a temple of Baal. They tore it down, they killed all the idolatrous priests, and they demolished the altar. So Jehu has destroyed a temple of Baal. Now the people in Jerusalem are doing it. So you're seeing a little bit of a purge of that idolatry from the land. So that is 2 Kings chapter 11. Thanks for joining me today. Lord willing, we'll do chapter 12 tomorrow. But first, we must close with our application. We know very, very little about Jehosheba, the woman who saved Joash from Queen Athaliah. What we do know about her, though, is important. We know that she valued the life of a very young child. She was even willing to put herself in danger to save his life. God ended up using Joash to save the nation of Judah from a tyrant, to restore godliness in Judah, and also to preserve the line of King David on the throne of Judah, which was one of God's promises. So saving his life was pretty important. And that is all thanks to Jehosheba. So the application today is pretty simple. Women who protect the lives of the young, including the unborn, even when it requires personal sacrifice, are beautiful in the eyes of God.